road grow way back then. Started at the wrong time, now I'm imbalanced. Ah! That's scary as fuck, right? That thought? Don't worry about it. You're gonna be okay. Even if you're a fallen tree, you're perfect. Don't worry. That's the thing too. Like, if you're afraid to be a fallen tree, that would be your problem. You can never be a standing tree because you're afraid to be a falling tree. You gotta let go of your fear of being a falling tree. It's radical acceptance, like we talked about earlier. Remember that woman accepted death and then she was free. She was alive. She finally accepted death. Funny. She must have been like so afraid of death for so long, and whatever else too. Accepted it, and all of a sudden she's alive still to this day. Crazy. It was like it was killing her, that inability to accept that point. So that point of not accepting death was causing death to have to come. Oh my goodness. Getting such a clog on life, man. On the flow that was actual what it means to be, you know. So we just accept all of ourselves, everything that comes up. You know, that's what I forget too. It's like, what a funny fucking boy I am, you know. It's like, just say everything all crazy. That's the teaching. You just be crazy as fuck. Everything. You don't have to be crazy either. You can be sane. I'm a sane man. Don't do that. That'd be terrible. I love my eyes. I would never do that myself. Holy shit, that is the scariest thing that ever happened to me. It was crazy as fuck. Anyways, I was trying to be sane. I don't know. If you be crazy, you'll probably be more sane than if you try to be sane. I gotta say. If you try to be sane, you'll probably be crazy. You'll probably like stab yourself in the eye with a cigarette or something. 927, 33. We're doing good all the time. It's funny, these angel numbers too. We should say them every time because it's just like, are you guys serious? Like, how many cars on Maui are these same numbers? This is 22. This is. And it makes no sense. It's just like, come on. Alright, there's 100,000 people. There's this many. That's a 986. Okay, we'll tell you. It's a 986. It wasn't one of ours. But we'll count how many one of ours there are. And how many others. 208. If we count them all like that, though, they'll fuck us up. We only see them at random, usually. We don't look for them. Whenever I look for them, it screws it all up. Seeking you will not find. No. No, we talked about that, though. You know, I saw it, and then it stopped me from my seeking, and then I found. But still, I was seeking up until the point where it stopped me from my seeking, so I don't know. You'll probably find, but you'll probably have to relax your focus. Or else you'll miss it because you'll be looking a certain way too hard. That's what softening the gaze is for. So yeah, we've learned past training. So that's nice. But we have gone into a form of practice that is doing. A really beautiful thing. But not in the way of fixation or emergency to train. So that's a big deal. If you're thinking, oh, my muscles are getting stronger, this is something like, oh, no, 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 no. You're finding out that your muscles are the strongest ever. You know? And so for your muscles to be getting stronger, from what point, you would have to then decide the point in which they were becoming stronger from, which for most of us would probably be from a point of weakness. And now we're having this weird bandwidth of possible, you know, energy expression for ourselves, and limitation on reality, and we can let go of those types of things, all kinds of different things that come with effort. And so we're learning all these different things that come with effort and flow and motion in the body in the moment, and learning how to transcend these types of things through them in this section. So by the time we're finished doing this practice, we should actually find a route to where single motions can lead us into a vast realization. But it takes time and duration in some way, so you'll probably haven't been in the present moment of your life for very long. Actually, 21 days is what is said in science to write a habit. So really, if we can keep you in the moment, learning presently for 21 days, you'll probably be fine. But if you could do it even just for one day, you'll probably be fine. I don't know. I mean, we're pretty good. I mean, I'm being a little bashful, but maybe not. She's taken a long time. But really, she's already there. So, what are we talking about taking a long time? She's already there. She's just finding out she's already there. I mean, you're all already there, so you're just finding out you're already there. You even don't even need to come anywhere near us. which is great for us because we're like busy. But we like you guys too. I mean, but we're only ever doing the same thing we're doing right now. Yeah. We can do it together though. I do like working with people. I like to be able to help, and we're developing new practices. But we can again, you can do this with others. But you can do this with us as well. We don't mind. We'll be wherever the flow brings us. You know, maybe at a house. We don't care. We like it here. I don't know if she likes. She likes being with me. But whatever she likes, she go do whatever she wants. Hang out with her girlfriends. She got invited to go as these girls. They probably want to talk about boys. Young girls doing world things. I don't hang out with people myself, but I'm only channeling consciousness. We only hang out if we're going to grow. And grow to the level in which I'm growing. I don't have a lot of time to be slowed down to help somebody else grow who doesn't want to grow. If you don't want to grow, I mean, it's no problem. But all I ever do is grow. So, you see, we'll be in symbiosis if we both harmonize with each other effectively. You don't want to grow right now, it's no problem. I love you. You're the best. In some way, you are growing no matter what. Every one of us equally. So no reason for me to do anything with you. If you want to do something different than I want to do, awesome. You want to grow that way? I'm going to grow out my way. That's the better version right there. Yeah, that's a written better version as we express through that. And everybody's growing differently in their own ways, equally to one another. Some people grow like I do. Some people grow like they do. However they grow beautiful and true. And if you grow like I do, then we're gonna hang out. Good. And these teachings hopefully can help you just learn on your own where you are. Come into your breath, come into your moment, come into your movement. Easy. If you have light language already open in you, very, very easy for you to come into the moment. Come into discipline of yourself. Come impeccable with your moment, your body, your mind, your actions. See how effortless it is to be yourself in every moment. And yourself in any way. Naturally. And there's plenty of things that can help and activate. I myself say many things right now because I don't know what it's like for everybody where they're at. I have many worries and fears for you all in your journeys. I know my journey was hard, that's why. But I know you all are doing great. And not only are you capable, are you able, but you are. You are unfolding and blooming perfectly, exactly as you're meant to be. And it's so beautiful. So I have nothing but utter confidence, trust, and knowing that everybody from this moment forward and every moment that's ever been, they've all been equally, limitlessly blessed and wonderful and amazing. And it may look different to us depending on what it is that we see and how it is that we reflect in view. But we will all find this to be true when we come into the view. That be true. Be constant. Be here for us all always. Commonly. Equally, entirely. Fully. The vast limitlessness of our emptiness. Yeah, I get all kinds of things about saying things like this. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Unspoken stuff. Go this way, we go that way. And when we talk for a long time, it's interesting. I wonder if I speak in a way of redundancy and all these different things. But I know the moment brings about itself in different forms, Acceptance is something that can be very difficult for us. Being here now, allowing ourselves to be. But we are all already amazing and perfect, and we are all worthy. There's all kinds of routes and ways to process ourselves, forgiveness, and all kinds of things. And help us come to sturdying in the center of our frequency of our heart to know of our true nature. Medicine ceremony is very beautiful. It can be a very difficult path. But no matter the path in which we take, whether it be that one or any path, it just be simply our ability to dedicate ourselves, our focus to ourselves in some way. And this way we come much more naturally, easily, just every moment, just accepting ourselves, accepting our falsities, our shortcomings, our wrongnesses, our rightnesses, what this, what that. And we can find very simply just through expressing ourselves that we actually write our energy really easily. Maybe we lose some friends, or maybe we do this, or maybe we do that. We can find that honesty can gain the respect of anybody, and that we need not it anyway. Being ourselves is all that we really seek. The ability to be free. It feels amazing. It's such peace. Even if you're not the greatest thing that you could imagine, or this, that, or the other, or you're not doing this thing that you thought you were meant, or this thing, or this thing, or this thing. If there's something that you truly want to do, I'm sure it's for you. There's things we want to do because we think that we have to. And those things are the things that we do not truly need to do in that way. But sometimes there are some things that maybe we need to do, like pay our tickets and our fines and whatever else, you know. But we'll have to find that from ourselves, because for you to pay your fine, it might be necessary. But for another man who doesn't pay his fine, an amazing synchronicity could happen due to this, and that for him was necessary, so we never know how to form ourselves. No reason to attack or defend ourselves from ourselves authentically anyway. I always followed my journey in my heart, and it was wrong and right and all these things by many other people's distinctions and determinations. But I followed my route exactly correctly. And I know that we all do. So I have no reason to control or manipulate you. And I'm sure that none of us do. And if we are, then great. And if we're not, then awesome. Whatever we do, then wonderful. As we share awareness with one another, our awareness becomes aware of things that they were not previous, and that awareness alone is all that's necessary to come to settling. And so if this hasn't been clear enough to bring you to a place of settling, I could say that I'm sorry, I could say that I'm grateful, I could say all kinds of different things about it. It is perfect. Wherever place this is, whatever place this isn't, whatever this takes to, wherever this doesn't. And we can allow ourselves to just allow and see this. Relax into effortlessness. Allow it to be. Sometimes it feels like too effortless. You want to add more to it. And add a greater chord shape. Like, hey, this needs to be stronger. This needs to be this way. This needs to be that way. And then I kind of scraped my tongue when I said that way. When I was thinking about becoming stronger a different way than what it was already coming through me. Might have bit my tongue right in the center of this frequency. Not having any space to move but these syllables that are coming from me. That seems not very spacious, right? You're like, wait a minute, how do I get even better with that? Well, that kind of a thing can show you even more space, where you can become even more relaxed in some way. So you see I do a shake, because I see where me has possibility of rigidity, where me can be part of this motioning. And so there's actually a lot of parts of me that can come into like moving my hands with this frequency, or moving my body with this frequency. Moving myself with this frequency, and I have to know. It's like, okay, well, I'm allowed to sit. I'm allowed to be. I don't want to move myself away from not allowing to do this, and then I only stand, then I only dance, then I only do that, then I only do that. So I want a balance of all these things. And there's ways that I'm more habitually patterned to not being myself all the time. And so that's where coming dedicated to just learning yourself. And you don't actually have to do this for very long. Like I said, if you were to really dedicate yourself, even if you were like one of the hardest consciousnesses, I bet 20 days, 21 days, you'd be good to go. I mean, one day is a far venture. I mean, and if you ever did do it for one day in the way that we're talking, then you would do it for greater than 21 days. You would do it forever. You would never stop after 21 days. You would continue on. You wouldn't stop after one day. You would forever be doing it. Forever be present with yourself. And you may find that, yes, you are already doing this. You just never saw it to be very significant. And that it was quite amazing. A natural grace where you're completely forming the most utter perfection. So you looked at yourself thinking the other thing. But it turns out there's a great, wonderful thing already occurring of yourself. And you can find this out very easily. And so this practice that we're talking about, coming present and disciplined with yourself, I'd say, that in a day's time you could write yourself in such a way to where you're already habitually patterned to wish to do something. But you may lose it 21 days, I bet for sure somebody dedicated in this practice, being with themselves in every moment, could really have a huge, huge, huge swing. No problem. Somebody at my type of capacity, yeah, you guys can really do something really great with that 21 days. And like I said, you just simply would never stop. Still, the 21 days would build a habit of never stopping. So I say you do it for 21 days. That means you would do it for 21 days, meaning you dedicate yourself that long, meaning that's like the amount of time that it would take for you to become habitually patterned to do it literally forever, every day. So far longer than 21 days, forever. You never lose sight of where you are. And it's simple that you never actually do lose ever where you are. So it's very funny. You just simply come to the view of where you are and where you've always been. And so this is a practice that brings you very effortlessly into this view quite easily, just by doing yourself naturally, as you do yourself. But being there with yourself, but naturally allowing yourself. And we can show you all kinds of ways to bring you into the feeling of yourself naturally, because you've been for so long out of that feeling. And so that's what we've been providing with these videos, is all kinds of different gateways into that. And then I've also been showing different things, different light code activations and things like that. But we're coming into a greater realm in which we can speak with greater confidence, just more easy access to gateways. And so yesterday we did a movement flow. It was very beautiful. Moving forward was all that was happening for me. And we did another movement flow afterwards, standing. I'm sorry that we didn't get it on videotape. I wish that we would have. Where I was finding a greater subtlety. Whereas before I was kind of wishing to like move her this way, move her this way, move her this way, move her this way, move her that way, move her that way. But we came into a place where she could feel really well. And I was able to just simply surrender and not do. And I just focused on not doing more and more and more. And it became greater and greater and greater, softer and softer and softer, with less ability to have any kind of harm or clashing between the two energies. And so this is very beautiful. We then have a much longer duration in which we're able to flow with this. And so that was very beautiful. Before I was having injury in my hands and things like that, so that's why I'm saying that. And that was because I was pressing. But pressing was not necessary actually to form strength. And this was something that I had kind of known before. But I had never been with somebody long enough to experience it directly to be able to explain it in this way. So direct experience is kind of a necessary flow within pattern to really build upon oneself, the perspective. It's wonderful to have the conceptual knowledge and the idea and the theory and the understanding of where energy could possibly move if you move in a certain realm of patterning. But it's another thing to actually step into it and experience it. So it's another thing to be a written doctor. It's another thing to be, a practicing brain surgeon. And I've actually done things with people, For you may wish to have the rookie doctor that's never practiced on somebody practice on your brain, but for me, I would maybe prefer, somebody that seems well seasoned in a certain form, and balanced in many other ways, of course. Even if they're an old man with great seasoning, I don't always trust their ability to have intelligence. A lot of people have learned how to repeat patterns, but that doesn't mean that they become quite smart with it. But maybe they are good with it, though, so it just depends. Anyways, I guess I would try to trust a doctor over any other Joe Blow when it comes to those types of things. You would have no choice. Anyhow, we could also find out all kinds of ways to move our energies in manners that allow us to route our energies in ways of healing through softening. That's what I'm finding. That a teaching came to me previously in life of how an energy master was healing a friend of mine. And he said, oh, you just hold the image of the trauma. And so you never can believe yourself to be healed. And so your energy never writes itself to be healed. So it was his focus, thinking of himself as not healed, that would make his energy write itself in that disturbed pattern, that dissonance wavelength, And so what he did was he just moved it back where it was meant to be, the energy. And so in some way, this has led to me to create this theory or energy pattern that has actually shown quite great validity through the expression and honesty that goes along with it. And then also the allowing of the relaxing of the frequency to show, oh, it's actually good to go already. And so whereas I was working and training my feet, eventually in some way this has already came to theory and work and subtlety, to where actually no, my feet were already capable and were already completely open. So I actually relaxed the belief that they weren't open, to allow myself to see that, yeah, no, actually, yes, they are open. And that doesn't come from just a belief, that comes from a knowing. Yes, actually, I am fully liberated, limitless, open consciousness right now as it is. I'm perfect in every way. So, no, I do not need to train myself to prove to myself I'm going someplace. Here I stay already, where I always wish to be and where I'll only ever be. In the seat of all awareness, enlightened mind, enlightened awareness, enlightened action, the Buddha embodied, Guru Rinpoche, however you wish to say, effortless mind, everything I play on my own heart. I realized all these things. But this is the same for every one of us. Here we are in equanimity. There's not a single being greater than the other, no matter how large or how small. Really amazing. I know this. And so it's easy to transmit these things to my consciousness. It's also to be able to transmit these things in teaching through sharing to other beings. And I love to be able to do this when many people open up their learning and their imaginative viewpoint, their ability to look in a direction and see something true. I thought maybe I would mislead them in some way, but I'm actually pointing them in directions that go somewhere. I found that out maybe this morning or something. And so you see, all these things have come into starting to allow me to speak to you much more clearly. And I guess if you were leading somebody that you had never gone, then maybe you would mislead them. But if I'm leading you to this moment, to the way to move effortless, full in every cycle and motion that you ever do, I have the ability to lead you there. It's easy to lead you there. Here we are right now, already there. I'm already there. I mean, if you got led to that direction, I'd see that you're led that direction. I'd be like, no, not there, there. You're like, oh, no, what, over there? No, right there. Here, let me show you. Here, let me go there. Okay, you got it? There you go. Fucking shit. Damn, that was ridiculous. I'll just throw your face into it. I don't know. I didn't do his face. I took his hand and moved it through an energy channel that showed emotion. That's all I ever do with people. So that's what we've been able to do with each other. You see, our emotion's really great. Everybody's emotion that works with me is really great. Most people that open their light language don't have motion like that. But we open it up really easy because it's not my motion. It's the moment's motion. It's the heart's motion. It's your motion. It's our motion. It's how we move as humans naturally. So I activate things which are rememberings, remindings. Very easy, but it's very quick, very efficient. But you got to be able to fully dedicate yourself. That was something very amazing about her and Mr. Dayton, is that they're fully here. If you're divided in your focus, it's not going to work. You have to be fully with yourself all the time. And that could be doing yourself naturally, but you'll be fully with yourself. You'll see things that are less than yourself. You see the reasons why you do things because you think you're in lack. You think you're on want. You think you need this. You think you need that. You don't actually need those things. You think that you do. Oh, of course I do. For this reason, for this reason, for this reason. Well, that, of course you do. No matter the explanation you said, it's not true. It's not true. And then you'll tell me a story, and I'm like, okay, well, actually, that is true for you, so I'm sorry. You do have to watch your mom until she dies. I'm sorry. You do have to take care of your daughter and your son, I guess. I am sure that if you saw that this be not true, that another card structure would open for you, another avenue. There would be another channel in which you could flow that would be also working for you and what you need. So that's another thing. You are specifically correct about things that you need, probably. But maybe the way in which you get them is different than the way in which you need to get them. And there's another way. Now, these are routings of energies that maybe allow people to manifest things in their reality, that allow them to continue the perpetuation of their ego identity in their limited form. Right now we can actually realize ourselves much more greatly. So I would imagine it'd be great for you to come in touch with your heart first and see who you are. And so that's what this practice does. You can do this whenever you want. You don't have to release anything. You can take a few weeks or every moment and come into this feeling. But you'll see what you feel better, actually. You come into the moment, you come into the feeling of your limitless self, into these amazing core progressions. I just can't see how you would desire anything more. Anything greater, anything less. It feels so wonderful to be free. And to know that actually, you learning these things, you blooming your lotus, everything will take care of you. But for the most amazing you, for the thing that you want most truly. Not just to live on the street like me, But this is what I want most truly. You see, I like to be free. I don't like to be a weak being, that's not able to be wherever it wishes to be. Completely sustained in itself, no matter what. That nothing can keep me in a prison cell. I wouldn't want my house to be a prison like that, some place of safety, some place where I could finally be me. I want to be me no matter what, anywhere. May nothing limit me from being free. What limits me only? Ideas. That is it. Fears, judgments, attacks and defenses. Ways I think I need to protect myself because something within myself that's not separate from me wants to hurt me. I don't want to hurt any of myself, so it's obvious. Nothing of myself wants to hurt me either. There's no reason for me to worry about it. If there is something in me that I want to hurt, then I better be worried about being strong enough to defend against that. To dominate and destroy if I need. But I have none of that. All of us rest here now, right now, the Buddha's embodied equanimity. I have no reason to defend myself against what is perfect consciousness and what it only does for my benefit. If there's anything here of my highest benefit that comes to me, why would I guard myself against it? And I know already that everything that comes to me always comes for me, not against me. Always for my highest benefit, no matter what. No matter what comes, it will all come to me. If it's in balance with me, it's going to benefit me. If I can actually learn from it, and I can grow from it. Or otherwise it will not come. And so I have no reason to guard against any part of life at all. Every part of life will grow me and help me no matter what. So why would I guard? I don't have to guard against a house. I don't have to guard against not a house. I don't have to guard against this person or that person or this thing or that thing or anything. I have to guard against a single thing. There's not a single thing against me for me to be doing that with. And I'll find that crazy lack of defense and attack shows me that that's true. It was only the other thing true because I believed the other thing true. And when everybody or every one of you had the possibility to come into that kind of view or enemy,